Hello, guys and girls. Today I have another theory about the main box legendaries of Pokemon Sword and Shield. Now, I'm going to say that this theory is not that strong, but it's a personal theory of mine that I actually came up with. Since the last theory I made, other YouTube PokeTubers is kind of covering it, so I want to do something on my own that I know nobody else has talked about or covered at all. Now, this theory is something I have personally found and felt stupid when I found it because I was trying to find out what type of sword is the box legendary logo. Well, the box legendary logo for sword is, like what type of sword that is, and for shield, what type of shield that is. Now, I know that the shield is a British shield, so we got that. But what type of sword is the Pokemon sword legendary is? Now, it took a little bit of me doing some research, and I found out like a I found out very stupidly that there is a legendary sword, and that is a British sword that the wolf head is, and that sword is Excalibur. Now, I can't say if the main legendary for sword is Excalibur, but I am going to say this: King Arthur, that's the person who owns Excalibur, by the way. If you don't know, like American, well, not American, but like in England the UK folklore in a way. King Arthur, well, also religion. King Arthur was the person who actually pulled out the legendary sword from his rock and actually became king, because they say whoever pulls out this sword is destined for greatness. And it also sounds like Age of Slash in a way. But to put into perspective, King Arthur had a sword named Excalibur, right? We just covered that. Now, what about the shield? We know it's a British shield, right? But I didn't say what type, like, why is the shield a legendary as well? Well, that is because King Arthur also had a shield, and I can't really say the name, but it's in Welsh, so I can't really say it, but I translated from Welsh to English, and the sword name means face to face, or face to evasion. So I don't know what that fully means, but it could actually have like a signature move that protects itself or its allies and also raises its evasion, while sword can cut through anything, and I literally mean anything. Now, right now I'm going to show you guys and girls like Excalibur's like description, and when it comes to the shield one, it's kind of weird. It gets weird when you see it. Before we get into Sword and Shield, like main box legendary, I want to like point out like King Arthur, he was like a legendary British leader who in medieval times, which is a long time ago, have led British against the Saxon invasion in the 5th and early 6th centuries. Now, the details of his story is mostly through folklore, and he is like a religion person. And in British, they're known for like their religion. So when it comes to King Arthur, he was a religious, and probably the legendary trio might represent the Knights of the Round Table. I should also get into that as well in a bit, but for now, this is King Arthur, and this is his like little Wikipedia little section of his like story, his background, and all that good stuff. But he was well known, and he is a like one of the greatest people that actually, well, one of the greatest kings they know. Now, I'm going to get into the knights. No, probably do that later. But right now, let's talk about Excalibur. There we go. Excalibur. Excalibur is a legendary sword of King Arthur, sometimes also tributed with magical powers or associated with rifle. The rifle. Don't even know what that is. Solvate? A British. British. Excalibur and the sword in the stone. The proof of Arthur's legacy. Well, legal. Lineage? Lineage. Are sometimes said to be some weapons, but in most visions are, well, they're considered separate. Excalibur was associated with the Arthurian legend very early on in Welsh. It was called, can't pronounce it, and then other words I can't really pronounce. I guess I could pronounce Latin because that says Columbus. So Excalibur is a legendary sword, so to me it makes a lot of sense that Excalibur would be like the box main legendary's like design, like not design, but like what it truly is as a legendary in a way. I could say I don't know what type of why would they made it a wolf, because in wolves in mythology kind of don't go hand in hand for real. Like you can't find really many things about wolves in mythologies. So why not just take the wolf, just like they do with everything else, and just take the wolves and put it together with something else that has a stronger meaning in mythologies, and that's why I think they got like the wolf with the sword, and then since Arthur had a sword and a shield, they made both shields wolves. Well, both weapons wolves. Made one for attacks and the other one for defense. Now, this is just Excalibur. Excalibur is a magical legendary sword, holy sword, in fact. So I can actually see it being probably psychic steel, since it says magic, quote unquote. But it'd be cool to have a like steel and ice type, or something very unique for this legendary, but most likely there's gonna be some psychic in it or not. Or fairy, because this light, I said this light, because this sword do shines when used, and it could cut through anything, and I mean anything. So it's probably gonna have like a strong ability to ignore everyone else's ability, somewhat like Solgalio's and Lunala's. But if it could cut through anything, then that means like you can't use moves like Endure or have Sturdy ability, since your Pokemon would just get cut down. But let's move on to the shield. Now we are moving on to shield. Now, oh man, I guess the image didn't want to show up. Okay, I already read like some of this so far, but did I read some of this? I think I skipped some of it, but his shield is not really that known for things besides having like a religious face or figure on it, like with the Virgin Mary or Jesus Christ or a cross. Now, wait. So I guess this sword was kind of, huh? Give me 1 second. I should actually, huh? I actually read a little bit more of it. So that would mean if it was blessed by the Virgin Mary, the mother of, I don't know why I said the mother of God, but it's mostly the mother of Jesus. So wouldn't that means that it was blessed with the virtue of like chastity or abstinent in a way? So since the Virgin Mary never, let's say, consummate, that would means that this sword was actually, let's say sword, the shield is actually perfect for the virtue of well, abstinent because you're protecting something that's very, very precious and which is truly your virginity, and that actually does fit in pretty well to me because back then you had to like save yourself until marriage, so you had to shield yourself from people that will come and try to propose or try to take it. But I'm not trying to get into all that craziness, but it makes sense that it is that it represents virtue in a way because you have to protect yourself in so many ways, and that means that this sword, well, the shield could be actually steel, a steel, well, pure steel type, or I don't want to say fairy, but what it would be pure? It might be just pure steel type then. If it's going to be like a pure, well, Necrozma kind of became pure when it gained the psychic, so I don't know about the psychic, but I feel like it might just be pure steel because if you think of it, the virtue, like I said, represents purity. So why not it be just a pure steel type? So that will make sense to me. So Excalibur and a sword that represents, well, a shield that represents virtue. Those are two things that actually does sound about right to me. So I don't know how does this sound to many people. It might not sound right. It might not, might not sit well with some because I'm actually talking about something that's very embarrassing and kind of private in a way. But it makes sense. Like if you have a sword, you can a legendary sword that cuts down anything and is very magical, and a shield that is blessed with virtue. That would actually indicate that you're a great leader. Now I don't know why they're wolves again, but to me, this whole theory I found, this whole theory I had, I don't know why I said found, actually comes together kind of nicely. And if you guys or girls like agree or disagree, just let me know. And I would actually love to hear it. Like, what do y'all think about this? Because to me, I should have read like the shield part a bit more so I could get like a clearer understanding because I kind of skimmed through it. But to me, this actually fits very well. But I can't say what their typing abilities or attacks might be. But to me, I feel like that's what they truly represent. Like to protect those who mean a lot to you and to protect yourself from any elements that are out there trying to hurt you or bring you down or lead you to the path of evil. And to me, sometimes though that kind of does kind of make it sound like those are qualities to for a great king or I'm not really sexist, but I'm going to say for a great queen as well because you know, there's some great queens out there. Can't lie about that. So that's just my little intake on what the box legendaries are going to be truly based on. Excalibur in this sword, the shield name I cannot pronounce. We're gonna call it the face to face shield or the face of virtue shield. No, the shield of virtue. That's what I'm gonna call it from now on. The shield of virtue in Excalibur. So if you guys and girls like this theory, please let me know. Please share this with your friends if it's not too cringy because I did stutter a lot and paused it just to read a little bit more. But overall, I feel like this was a very good theory. And I would actually love to hear everyone's opinion about this. And if you like it, please let me know. If you don't like it, then, let me know why. To me, it's kind of perfect for Pokemon. And I shall see you all next time.